rental living can be a full-blown nightmare for both landlord and tenant. Homeowners risk dealing with trash property and renters who won't pay up. Tenants find themselves facing racial discrimination and steep deposit requirements. Speedrent, once a typical classified site, wants to change that. Its founder and CEO Wong Whei Meng says his platform, which cuts out the middleman and vets prospective tenants, can make renting less of a nightmare and more of a fair experience.
Speedrent is an automated rental platform to connect landlord and tenant to rent direct. The key thing for us is how landlord, as much as it's a passive income, is not really passive income when you have tenant that pays late or you have to deal with the tenant from hell, put it this way. Then you have a lot of headache dealing with that. Frankly speaking, there's a lot of racism rental whereby people choose by color, and I really want to change that.
Wong's tough experience as a landlord himself led him to set up Speedrent. Firstly, he was concerned about whether he could easily secure tenants due to the limited number of rental listing sites. Another cause for concern was keeping track of rental collection.
I think the key thing for me, how I came up with the idea was because I had my house, I wanted to lease it out, and I wanted to find a way to rent it out fast. There's just not a lot of places for me to advertise. The agent very quickly helped me to lease out the house, but there become a headache when you have to consistently remember whether the tenant paid or not. When I initially started it, it was just testing it, and it turned out that the market react positively, that they needed something like other avenues to advertise. So we started as a very simple classified site that the main objective is just to connect them.
Along the way, Wong realized that there were many gaps and issues in the rental industry that Speedrent could address.
As we move on, we found that when we want to do transaction, there's deposit as a barrier. We remove that. Then even we remove that, the landlord say, I want this raised, that raised.
Wong believes Speedrent's ability to connect landlords and tenants directly helps to address the issue of racial discrimination.
Traditionally, all the tenants would go through an agent. An agent would be the one to filter. And more often than not, people make friends through talking, right? And if the landlord never get to know the tenant and the agent filter based on skin color, then basically there's no way for them to understand one another. Our platform allows them to talk direct, to know one another. So that's, we break the barrier.
But does Speedrent's zero deposit policy jeopardize rental protection?
Initially, we never started as a no deposit platform. It's just that we see a lot of tenants asking landlords, can I pay you deposit by installment? And the landlord just couldn't afford to take the risk, and there's no deal. So we thought this is a problem and is a social issue in Malaysia where saving rates is very bad right now. How do we provide quality tenants to landlords? So we use Ramsey, CITOS, credit reporting agencies to filter the tenant. So the landlord, after talking to you, they know that for the fact that Speedrent will also do a background check on the tenant based on their credit scoring.
Apart from running background checks and screenings of tenants online, Speedrent also partners with Allianz General Insurance to insure the property.
So we basically partner with Allianz to protect landlord with superior protection compared to traditional deposit, and tenant do not have to pay deposit to rent a house. So it's a win-win for both. If anything happens, the screening is not good enough to filter some bad tenants, Allianz is there to give you a superior protection up to 26,000.
Speedrent services don't end there.
So for example, signing tenancy agreement. It's all online. There's a template and you can sign the tenancy agreement through your mobile app or through the laptop.
Now almost in its fourth year, Speedrent wants to take its business up a notch. Wong says plans are afoot to transform Speedrent from just a startup to a public listed entity, although there is no rush to do it for now. In the meantime, Speedrent has kickstarted its equity crowdfunding initiative.
I think the reason why we went with crowdfunding was, number one, I think we have a very solid business, a sensible business model. We solve real social issues, and this is a way for us to grow faster We are looking at 3 million. Being a tech company, of course, we'll invest back in R&D and obviously spend on brand awareness.
But what if the IPO does not materialize?
Well, I think we would be in multiple cities in the region, and I don't think we will just be doing rental. We will do a branch out to a lot of different businesses, just like how Grab does it. Grab can be the king for transportation. I think Speedrent can be the king for properties.